Welcome to release question 26 for the CST questions, release questions for geometry. It says in the accompanying diagram, parallel lines L and M are cut by transversal T. So here's transversal T, here's parallel lines, it says L and M. So I'm going to add that in my picture. These two are parallel. Which statement about angles 1 and 2 must be true? What has to be true based on this? Well, is this going to be congruent to this? I would say yes. I would make that argument right here, actually. This one and this one are congruent. But does that mean 1 has to be congruent to 2? No. This one is not a special type. These two are alternate exterior angles, but these two are none of the special types we learned. We know that alternate interior angles are congruent. We know that alternate exterior angles are congruent. We know that corresponding angles are congruent. We know that CIA, consecutive interior angles, add to 180 degrees. A couple other things we know is that a linear pair adds to 180 degrees, and we also know that vertical angles are congruent. So these are a bunch of things we know. When we have transversals and parallel lines, we can say all these things are going to be true. So this one, not true. We don't have that as a special type. 1 is not necessarily congruent to 2. 1 is congruent to the one down here, though. Does 1 have to be the complement of 2? Complements, these are supposed to add to 90 degrees. And so does this one and 2 add to 190, or to 90, I'm sorry? No, that doesn't have to be true. This one looks like it's bigger than 90 itself, so angle 2 is just, if you can trust the looks of the picture, it's not even 90. It's not even less than 90 by itself. So choice C. Let's skip that one for now and go to choice D. Are these two right angles? Does 1 and 2, do those both have to be right angles? No. Clearly from the picture, you can see that that doesn't have to be true. So choice C seems like the right choice, but why? Why does it have to be the right choice? Well, I know this one. Let's call this one angle 3, just to make it easier to talk about. I know that 2 and 3 would be supplementary. They would be adding to 180. And I know that 1 and 3 are congruent to one another. So you could say, by the transitive property, we have measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2, or I should probably say the substitution property. Let's write it out here, though. Measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle, measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 would be equal to 180 degrees. And we know that the angles 1 and angles 3 are equal to each other because they're congruent to one another. And so I could take the measure of angle 1 and I could put it in the place of the measure of angle 3. And so I could take that, replace it with the measure of angle 1. That would still have a true statement. That would be the substitution property. I would be substituting in angle 1 for angle 3, and they would be supplementary. So it would be the supplement of that. Choice C then for number 26 is the correct choice.